so here we go. I'm at Joe's and I loaded this thing up, and I was kind of worried about this case not actually fitting, but look at that. It ain't gonna get any tighter than that, boys. And bring her right around the back. Look at that. It don't even hang off. It's almost like it was made to fit. You know, check that out, guys. Oh, look at that. My brand new tire needs some air. Well, anyway, it's loaded up. I'm gonna strap it down, figure out what all's got to be done to this thing tomorrow morning, and I'll film some of the using of this beast. I paid $200 for this thing. It's a 5-foot brush hog. I went out to Neutral Poly to get it. But yeah, it's hopefully it's worth that $200. It's not all beat up. The box is reasonably tight. The guy I bought it from said it's got a little bit of a leaky gearbox on the bottom, so that's no big deal. Don't really care. I'll just put some Lucas stop leak in it, and that should be good enough for it. It's just a brush hog, so hopefully in the future I'll get a pull behind, because you can run a lot bigger pull behind on one of these whenever you don't have to pick it up. But all right, well, anyway, that's probably going to be it for the night. Okay, so I got this brush hog yesterday, and I've been using it this morning. I did that field over there. I don't know if you can see him all the way over there, but he's over there just cleaning that up. It's a brush hog. It's not made for finish mowing, but I'm working on this field. I'll take you over there and show you some of that, but it's working pretty good. So only problem I have is the clutch is still set too tight. So whenever you're not idling, or whenever you have the clutch disengaged, if there's no load on the blades, it spins. So I just have to take off this cover and adjust that, which is no big deal. I'll get to it when I get to it. But so far today, I've only burned about half a tank of fuel. So to engage the PTO, you reach down and you grab that, and then it's locked on. Then your inner lever here pops it down, and your throttle. I've been running in 4th gear most of the day. This is a case-o-matic, so if you push that in, you're in case-o-matic drive, which basically kind of works like an automatic almost. The more throttle you give it, the faster you go in that specific gear. But it's also slightly slower. Like, for example, like watch, I'll pull it now. You can see it hops and goes faster. I don't know, most of this gauge cluster doesn't work, which is unfortunate because that thing is really cool. But there's a guy I talked to a while ago. He said there's a guy in Jersey that restores them, but they're really expensive to get done. So there's a guy that makes this shape out of aluminum, and then he cuts out for you, and then you can put modern gauges in, like the round style, like these, which is probably what I'm gonna do unless I find a good deal on one of these. I won't get rid of that, but for sure, I don't think I'm dropping like $800 to $1,000 just so I can have a gauge that looks proper. at this. See, I've done this whole field. Well, not the whole field, but I've got, well, quite a few passes in, 5 or 6 maybe. But this brush hog's working really well. Like I said, I did most of the field on the other side over there. But not bad considering just a $200 brush hog from Facebook Marketplace. But it's working really well, actually. And we'll get back into the thick stuff here. Some of these trees, the bushes I don't care about so much, but for a 1958. It's an 800 case. I think, if I remember right, this thing's somewhere between 50 and 60 horsepower. This brush hog works pretty good, but I'm not sure I want to go a whole lot bigger. I think this thing would handle it, but when you get into some thick stuff, it really lugs it down and lets it know it's there. And part of that might just be because the blades are dull and it's got to work a little bit harder to cut. But I was actually surprised with the finish it gave on that field over there, because that's actually a nice field. We normally mow that with the 0 turn. Reasonably so. See, here we go. We're gonna get this bush here. That's why brush hogs are so great. What we have here is a flail mower. It's offset. That works pretty good, but it's got the knives on it, so it's set up for cutting grass, not this scrubby, brushy stuff. So I bought this mainly so I could, well, make money with it, but I bought it last night because I knew we were going to be mowing today. So now we got the boss is over there and the other guys over there with him, because their stuff isn't gonna mow over here very well, but to get this thing in working order this morning was I had to put a little bit of oil in that gearbox because it leaks, but I paid 200 bucks, so what do you want? And that shaft was stuck up a little bit, so I manipulated that shaft out, shall we say, and lubed it up. I cleaned it and lubed it up real good, put it on, and just went to work with it. And it's been working since 7 o'clock this morning. There's a big old rock I don't want to hit. that you can't hit a rock with a brush hog, it'll take it, but why abuse it? We're working on here, but it doesn't really need to be mowed, but we like to because all back along that woods line people like to throw garbage and stuff, and you know, if you make it a little bit easier for people to see it, it's a little bit of a deterrent for people to dump garbage. So besides that, it gets, you know, about July it gets real tall and just doesn't look as good. So mow this thing down once or twice a year. The other field we only mow a certain portion because it's a pretty big field too. See, we get this whole woods line here. I'm not gonna go out into that. That's not really that big of a deal. This is real shaky. I broke my magnetic mount, so I gotta order another one. In a field like this, right now it's May, I think, end of May almost. You gotta watch out because in this field over here we get a lot of baby deer laying that were fresh born, so you gotta be real careful because they won't get up and move. Sometimes you gotta just go around them. So that's one thing nice with being able to sit up this high. You can see what you're gonna hit before you hit it. At least right now while the grass is reasonably low. And see, this is our other field over here. That's a pretty big field. It goes pretty far down over to the woods line. We got the tennis court and the pool and the playground, and then over kind of behind that tree is a walking track. Wait till I get into some of that thicker grass up there. That's some real thick stuff. You'll hear it grunt then. zero turn. A little bit later in the year, and there's always birds flying right behind you because you're stirring up bugs. The bugs are jumping. You see all kinds of like small birds. They come out and they grab all the bugs, and then we get hawks that sit in the trees over here, and they love it because they stir up. Didn't care about that rock. But anyway, you start seeing hawks and stuff because when you're mowing brush like this or grassy field like this, you start stirring up mice and snakes and moles and chipmunks and other types of little critters that hawks and things like that like to eat. It's easy work for them. That's how I'm going to shut it off, I think, because I'm running out of battery, and on top of that, probably going to get real boring watching me mow. But I brought this thing up to work just because, honestly, I don't get tired of running this one. I get bored doing running their stuff because zero turns aren't that fun. And, I mean, the other tractors are alright, but let's be real here. If you can pick between a 50s farm tractor or hell, I don't even know what that is, like a 2018 New Holland. I think most people would enjoy the 50s farm tractor a little bit more. It depends on the day too. There's plenty of days I wouldn't want to run this thing. If it was 90 out right now, I wouldn't be all that happy because that tractor's got AC on it. But what's nice about this brush hog is whenever it gets to be a day like that, or even in the winter, we can come out here and mow this before it snows. That tractor has heat and AC. So, I mean, it's got some creature comforts that this thing doesn't. There we go. There's some thick stuff for you. Okay, now I really am going to wrap it up. Catch you guys later.